Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. New series of Consumer Price Index for Industrial Workers released with 2016 base year. BJP releases poll manifesto in Bihar, promises free COVID vaccine and 19 lakh jobs. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 89%. India continues to report one of the lowest cases per million population. DRDO successfully conducts final trial of anti-tank guided missile Nag in Pokhran range today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Durga Puja Pandal in West Bengal through video conference, greets people on the occasion. And in the Indian Premier League cricket, Rajasthan Royals will take on Sunrisers Hyderabad in Dubai this evening. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Labour Minister Santosh Gangwar today released the new series of Consumer Price Index for Industrial Workers CPI-IW with 2016 base year in New Delhi. Mr. Gangwar said the CPI-IW is used primarily for measuring dearness allowance payable to workers in the organised sector, including public sector undertakings, banks and insurance companies, besides government employees. He said earlier the base year for the CPI-IW was 2001. The minister said it is an important economic indicator.
सीपीआई इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर्स इस देश की प्राचीनतम मूल्य सूचकांक है। इस बात को सभी मानते हैं कि ये एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण आर्थिक संकेतक है, क्योंकि ये सूचकांक जनसंख्या द्वारा उपभोग की जाने वाली वस्तुओं और सेवाओं के मूल्यों में होने वाले बदलावों को नापने का काम करता है। इस सूचकांक का प्रयोग अनुसूचित रोजगारों में न्यूनतम मजदूरी के निर्धारण संशोधनों के साथ साथ लाखों केंद्रीय एवं राज्य सरकार के कर्मचारियों तथा औद्योगिक क्षेत्रों में श्रमिकों को दिए जा रहे महंगाई भत्ते के विनियमन और निर्धारण हेतु भी किया जाता है।
The BJP today released its poll manifesto for the Bihar elections, promising free COVID vaccine and 19 lakh jobs in the state. Senior BJP leader and Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, along with other senior leaders, released the poll manifesto in Patna. She said the party believes in fulfilling poll promises and the reflections have been made in the manifesto. Ms. Sitharaman said as soon as the COVID-19 vaccine is available for production on a mass scale, every person in Bihar will get free vaccination. She said 19 lakh job opportunities will be created in the health, education, agriculture, education and other sectors. Meanwhile, campaigning in Bihar has intensified in poll-bound areas. Senior leaders and star campaigners are holding multiple election rallies in the assembly segments for the first phase of polls. More from our correspondent.
With only 5 days left in closure of campaigning for the first phase of assembly elections, all the parties are leaving no stone unturned to garner the support of voters. Tomorrow, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address 2 rallies in Sasaram and Gaya. This will be maiden public meeting of Prime Minister in ensuing assembly elections. BJP senior leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will hold public meetings at Nokha and Nabinagar. He said in Bar that NDA government has ensured inclusive development of all sections of society without any discrimination. JDU President and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar addressed a public meeting in Daronda and Siwan. He will hold 5 election rallies today. RJD leader Tejasvi Prasad Yadav will address 6 public meetings in Rohtas, Kaimur and Buxar. Rashtriya Lok Samta Party Chief Upendra Kushwaha, Jan Adhikar Party President Pappu Yadav and leaders of other left parties also addressing election rallies. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
For the third and final phase of the assembly elections in 78 assembly constituencies, tomorrow is the last date for withdrawal of candidature. The scrutiny of nomination papers is underway in several constituencies. According to the CEO office, total 1,411 nominations have been filed. For this phase, the polling will be held on the 7th of November. In Madhya Pradesh, the campaigning for the by-elections in 28 seats in the state is at its peak. However, for the past few days, controversial statements have dominated the election campaign, replacing the real issues.
Senior leaders of BJP, Congress as well as BSP and SP are trying to woo voters through public meetings and rallies in all 28 assembly constituencies of the state. All BJP leaders, including Union Ministers Phaggan Singh Kulaste and Narendra Singh Tomar, are campaigning for the party candidates. On the other hand, former Chief Minister Kamal Nath, Congress leaders Digvijay Singh and Ajay Singh are also not behind in the election campaign. Meanwhile, voter awareness drives are being conducted by the administration in all 28 seats to increase the vote percentage. People are made aware through street plays and other sweep activities. The process of casting votes is being explained to the villagers by demonstrating EVM and VVPAT machines. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Gujarat, the poll campaigning for the by-elections to 8 assembly seats is picking up. 81 candidates are in fray after the withdrawal of nominations. Polling will be held on 3rd of November, while counting of votes will take place on 10th of November. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Poll campaigning for the by-elections of 8 assembly seats in Gujarat are picking up following a series of public meetings by BJP and Congress. Union Minister Purushottam Rupala is touring Gadda SC Assembly constituency. He is also scheduled to address public meetings at Mandavdar and Dadwa later today. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is campaigning in Kutch for the Abdasa Assembly seat. He is scheduled to address a public meeting at Nalia. State Congress President Amit Chavda and leader of Congress Legislative Party Paresh Danani are organizing meetings of party workers in connection with the by-elections. Meanwhile, state BJP has suspended 3 district office bearers of the party for filing the nomination against BJP's official candidates on Morbi, Dhari and Gadda SC seats. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Ladakh, the polling is underway to elect councillors for the 26 constituencies of the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Council, LAHDC, Leh. Our Leh correspondent reports that 29.73% votes have been recorded till 12 noon and the polling is smooth. The 5th term of the present BJP-led LAHDC ends on 30th of this month. In the 30-member General Council, the elections are held for 26 seats, while 4 are nominated from principal minorities. A report.
Polling for the 26 constituencies of Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council Leh is undergoing smoothly across all the 294 polling stations, and the polling was started at 8 a.m. this morning. Tight security and adequate COVID-19 SOP arrangements have been made by the election authority to ensure free and fair election. The polling party, security personnel and polling materials of Takmarti polling station of Lama Yuru constituency have to replace late night due to detection of one of the polling staff with COVID positive. A total of 94 candidates are contesting the election, and there are 89,845 registered voters for the LHDC polls. With Ramesh Chandra, this is Yangchan Dolma for AIR News from Leh, Ladakh.
In Manipur, nomination papers of 15 candidates have been accepted after scrutiny for the by-elections to 5 assembly constituencies. Lilong Assembly constituency has the highest number of 5 candidates, while Wangoi and Wangching Tentha have 3 candidates each. Singnat and Saitu have 2 candidates each. Tomorrow will be the last day of withdrawal and polling will be held on 7th of November. The counting of votes will be taken up on 10th of November. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has termed the Union Cabinet's approval for adaptation of the J&K Panchayati Raj Act 1989 as a watershed moment in the history of the Union Territory of J&K. Manoj Sinha expressed his gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for paving the way for the establishment of all 3 tiers of Panchayati Raj institutions and strengthening the grassroots democracy, thereby giving further fillip to the developmental agenda centered around people's welfare. The Lieutenant Governor observed that a major and final legal requirement towards strengthening the grassroots democracy and the bottom-up approach towards planning and execution has been fulfilled. The historic step will result in direct representation of people in the district level body through direct elections to 14 seats in the District Development Council. He added that a proper system of checks and balances through membership of directly elected members, Block Development Council chairpersons and MLAs in the District Development Council will ensure that the most genuine demands and needs of people are met. India today successfully carried out the final trial of the Defence Research and Development Organisation DRDO developed Nag anti-tank guided missile with a warhead. The test was carried out this morning at the Pokhran field firing ranges in Rajasthan. The trial of Nag anti-tank guided missile comes after the DRDO tested the helicopter-launched standoff anti-tank missile Sant with a range beyond 10 kilometers from Baleswar testing range in Odisha on the 19th of October. The Nag anti-tank missile is ready for induction in the Indian Army. It has completed 10 successful user trials as it finds the target and then hits it.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. New series of Consumer Price Index for industrial workers released with 2016 as base year. BJP releases poll manifesto in Bihar. Promises free COVID vaccine and 19 lakh jobs. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 89%. India continues to report one of the lowest cases per million population. DRDO successfully conducts final trial of anti-tank guided missile Nag in Pokhran range today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Durga Puja Pandal in West Bengal through video conference, greets people on the occasion. And in the Indian Premier League cricket, Rajasthan Royals will take on Sunrisers Hyderabad in Dubai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
देखिए फिल्म जगत के कई मशहूर कलाकारों के साथ भगवान श्री राम के जन्म स्थान अयोध्या से रामलीला डीडी नेशनल पर लाइव 17 से 25 अक्टूबर रोज शाम 7 बजे से रात 10 बजे तक और इसका पुनः प्रसारण 18 से 26 अक्टूबर डीडी भारती पर सुबह 9 बजे से दोपहर 12 बजे तक और दोपहर 3 बजे से शाम 6 बजे तक डीडी नेशनल पर।
All India Radio presents Northeast Diary, glimpses of the news of the week from the northeastern states.
All about the region, a gateway to Southeast Asia, the developments and the destinations to look forward to.
News from the art, cultural and entertainment world of the northeastern states of India. All this and more.
Every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. in the evening on 100.1 All India Radio FM News Channel.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Durga Puja Pandal in Kolkata via video conferencing today as the 5-day celebrations began in West Bengal amid the pandemic. Mr. Modi wished everyone a happy Durga Puja, Kali Puja and upcoming Diwali.
प्रथमे आपनादेर सकले जनाय श्री श्री दुर्गा पूजो आसन्न श्री श्री काली पूजो एवं दीपावली प्रीति अतिरिक्त शुभेच्छा और अभिनंदन.
Durga Puja Pandal was organized at Eastern Zonal Cultural Center on the initiative of BJP Mahila Morcha. He said whatever the situation, the whole country becomes Bengali during Durga Puja.
दुर्गा पूजा का पर्व भारत की एकता का पर्व भी है, भारत की पूर्णता का भी पर्व है. बंगाल की दुर्गा पूजा भारत की इस पूर्णता को एक नई चमक देती है, नए रंग देती है, नए श्रृंगार देती है.
He said this time Durga Puja is being performed amid the corona pandemic, therefore special emphasis should be on following COVID appropriate behavior.
इस बार हम सभी कोरोना के संकट के बीच दुर्गा पूजा मना रहे हैं. मां दुर्गा के भक्त, पंडालों के आयोजकों सबने इस बार अद्भुत संयम दिखाया है. संख्या पर भले असर पड़ा हो, लेकिन भव्यता वही है, दिव्यता वही है. आयोजन भले ही सीमित है, लेकिन उत्सव का रंग, उल्लास, आनंद असीमित है. यही तो बंगाल की पहचान है, यही तो असली बंगाल है. हाँ, मेरा आपसे ये आग्रह जरूर है कि मां दुर्गा के पूजा के साथ ही आप 2 गज की दूरी, मास्क पहनने, और अन्य नियमों का पालन भी पूरी निष्ठा से करें।
The Prime Minister appeals to everyone to keep social distance and wear masks. He said everyone has shown immense control and commitment to the entire arrangements while also ensuring that the flavor of Durga Puja remains the same. Talking about various schemes of the central government, the Prime Minister said,
प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत बंगाल में करीब 30 लाख गरीबों के लिए घर बनाए जा चुके। उज्ज्वला योजना के तहत करीब 90 लाख गरीब महिलाओं को मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन दिए गए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना के जरिए बंगाल के लगभग 4 करोड़ गरीबों के बैंक खाते खोले गए हैं। इतना ही नहीं, जल जीवन मिशन योजना के जरिए बंगाल के लगभग 4 लाख घरों में पाइप से साफ पानी पहुंचाने का काम हुआ है। कोलकाता में ईस्ट वेस्ट मेट्रो कॉरिडोर परियोजना के लिए भी 8,500 करोड़ रुपए मंजूर किए गए हैं। नेशनल हाईवेज हो, वाटरवेज हो या फिर गांव-गांव तक ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्टिविटी, हमारी कोशिश है कि बंगाल के आम जन के जीवन से मुश्किलें कम हो, उनका जीवन आसान बने।
During the address, the Prime Minister paid tribute to the icons of Bengal and said the state has made the country proud.
बंगाल की भूमि से निकले महान व्यक्तित्वों ने जब जैसी आवश्यकता पड़ी, शस्त्र और शास्त्र से, त्याग और तपस्या से मां भारती की सेवा की है। बंगाल की माटी को अपने माथे से लगाकर जिन्होंने पूरी मानवता को दिशा दिखाई, उनसे रामकृष्ण परमहंस, स्वामी विवेकानंद, चैतन्य महाप्रभु, श्री अरविंदो, बाबा लोकनाथ, श्री ठाकुर अनुकूल चंद्र, मां आनंदमयी, ऐसे अनगिनत ऋषि परंपरा के महानुभावों को, महर्षियों को, तपस्वियों को आज मैं आदरपूर्वक नमन करता हूं।
In Tripura, Durga Puja, the biggest festival of the state, began today with the performance of Devi Bodhan, also known as Shoshti Puja, in all temples, ashrams and community puja places. Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, the decorations in pandals have been limited. The arrangements of festivities appear to have been confined to a limited sphere at every community and club area across the state. Our correspondent reports that this time Durga Puja is being held in about 2,000 community pujas, including 811 at Agartala. The puja guidelines issued by the state government directed all priests, puja organizers and volunteers to undergo COVID-19 tests. The District Magistrate of West Tripura, Shailesh Yadav, said COVID-19 random tests will be conducted on the pandal hoppers during the 5-day festival. All puja pandals have been kept open from all sides. Any kind of fair in front of the pandals is prohibited. The puja organizers are also ordered to allow only 5 to 10 people to visit the pandal at a time.
The government has said that it has built up onion buffer stock from the Rabi onion 2020. In order to moderate prices, onions from the buffer stock is being released in a calibrated manner from second half of September to media mandis to retail suppliers such as Safal, Kendriya Bhandar and NCCF, and also to state governments. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution in a statement said that more will be done in the coming days. Last month, the government took a preemptive measure by announcing a ban on onion exports to ensure availability to domestic consumers at reasonable rates during the lean season before the Kharif onion arrival. The Assam government has fixed the rates of student fees in the non-government schools in the state. The new fee fixation has provisions for the State Education Department to levy fines and also initiate various punitive measures, including withdrawal of registration and also affiliation. A notification issued by the Principal Secretary of Education Department, B. Kalyan Chakraborty, said that from the academic year 2021-22, students studying in the pre-primary to class 5 will have to pay 27,000 rupees per year. Students studying from class 6 to 10 will have to pay 32,000 rupees, while for higher secondary levels, fee will be from 32 to 37,000 rupees.
The Maharashtra government has withdrawn the general consent given to the Central Bureau of Investigation to probe cases in the state. The move means that CBI will have to get the state government's permission to probe any matter in Maharashtra. The State Home Department issued an order to this effect today. N. Narasimha Reddy, the first Home Minister of Telangana, passed away this morning in Hyderabad. He was 86. He breathed his last at a private corporate hospital in Hyderabad. He held the Home and Labour Ministries in the first cabinet after separate Telangana state was formed in 2014. He began his political career under the influence of socialist leader Jayaprakash Narayan.
The Union government today said that the country's COVID-19 recovery rate has crossed 89%. More than 79,000 COVID patients have recovered during the last 24 hours. The Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has reached over 68,74,000. Actual case load currently comprises only 9.29% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 7,15,000. In the past 24 hours, 55,838 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country to over 77 lakhs. The ministry said India continues to report one of the lowest cases per million population. It said that effective implementation of strategic and graded test, track and treat approach has led to higher recoveries and lower fatality. Currently, India's case fatality rate is 1.51%, which is one of the lowest globally. During the last 24 hours, 702 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,16,616. Health Ministry today said that on the global scale, India continues to report one of the lowest cases per million population. In a tweet this morning, the ministry said with consistently falling case fatality rate, which is presently 1.51%, it also has one of the lowest COVID-19 mortality. It said given the size of India's population, these are testimony of the positive results of test, track, trace, treat strategy being implemented effectively by the states and the union territories.
This is All India Radio giving you the news.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR has validated the efficacy of Covirap for the detection of COVID-19. The diagnostic technology has been developed by researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. This COVID-19 diagnostic testing method has been designed to be fairly easy to conduct and affordable and can produce results within an hour. In Mizoram, the state government has decided to observe COVID-19 no-tolerance fortnight beginning from the 26th of October as a containment measure to flatten the curve of COVID-19 in the state. The decision was taken yesterday in a meeting chaired by the Health and Family Welfare Minister, Dr. R. Lalthangliana, to assess the COVID-19 situation in the state.
In Bihar, COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 94.22%. This is over 5% more than the national average. 1,319 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, while 1,277 patients were tested positive. Number of active patients in the state is continuously decreasing. At present, 10,019 patients are undergoing treatment in various hospitals. In Chandigarh, the recovery rate of COVID-19 patients has improved further. 118 patients were discharged, including persons from home isolation till yesterday evening, while 54 new positive cases were reported. With this, the total number of persons found positive in Chandigarh till now has risen to 13,795.
The Bombay High Court has permitted dining halls attached to Jain temples to open for 5 hours each day during the annual 9-day fast for Aimbil Oli Tap. The court said it does not see any problem if a limited number of persons are allowed to eat there without congregating. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. A.K. Varshney, Senior Physician, Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1800115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 01123314444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates. In the Indian Premier League cricket, Rajasthan Royals will take on Sunrisers Hyderabad in Dubai today. Earlier, Royal Challengers Bangalore defeated Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 wickets yesterday in Abu Dhabi.
Passenger train services from Dhaka to Siliguri are planned to be started from 26th of March next year. The Railway Minister of Bangladesh, Mohammad Nurul Islam Sujan, yesterday said that the Chilahati-Haldiwari line is also expected to be inaugurated on the occasion of the Victory Day celebration in December this year. In the beginning, freight trains would run on this route. The statement was made after the newly appointed High Commissioner of India, Vikram Doraiswamy, made a courtesy visit to the Railway Minister of Bangladesh in Dhaka yesterday. The air quality of Delhi NCR continues to remain in the poor category. Air quality index in the national capital was 252 this morning. An air quality index between 201 and 300 is considered poor, 301 to 400 very poor, and 401 to 500 severe, according to the System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research. SAFAR, the air quality would improve by tomorrow due to cleaner easterly wind intrusion.
Several parts of Odisha continue to experience rainfall triggered by the depression over the Bay of Bengal. Bhubaneswar-based meteorological centre has forecast light to moderate rain with 1 or 2 intense spells of rainfall at a few places in a number of coastal and South Odisha districts for today and tomorrow.
Even as the Indian Meteorological Department continues tracking the depression over the Bay of Bengal, its pathway is projected to run parallel of the Odisha coast before crossing West Bengal and Bangladesh coast as a deep depression by afternoon tomorrow. Its impact is quite visible in the state, with more than half the district already experiencing either drizzle or downpour, or at least being overcast with promising clouds. The rainy days are likely to persist for the rest of the day today, with the possibility of crossing over into the next 24 hours. Given the windy conditions along and off the Odisha coast, fishermen have been advised against rowing into the rough waters for the next 2 days. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
Now a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi will have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was recorded at 17 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 34. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 23 degrees. Maximum will be around 33. In Chennai, there will be a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will hover between 25 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature in the city was 26 degrees. Maximum will be around 35. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, minimum temperature was 16 degrees in Jammu, while maximum will be around 32. The city will have a mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, the sky will be mainly clear. The temperature in Srinagar will hover between 3 and 24 degrees Celsius. Leh in Ladakh will have a mainly clear sky too. The minimum temperature was -2 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 20 degrees. Gilgit and Muzaffarabad will experience a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 4 and 28 degrees in Gilgit. Muzaffarabad minimum temperature was 10 degrees. Maximum will be around 30 degrees. Chandigarh will witness a mainly clear sky too. Minimum temperature was 18. Maximum will be around 32. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. New series of Consumer Price Index for industrial workers released with 2016 base year. BJP releases poll manifesto in Bihar, promises free COVID vaccine and 19 lakh jobs. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 89%. India continues to report one of the lowest cases per million population. DRDO successfully conducts final trial of anti-tank guided missile Nag in Pokhran range. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Durga Puja Pandal in West Bengal through video conference, greets people on the occasion. And in the Indian Premier League cricket, Rajasthan Royals will take on Sunrisers Hyderabad in Dubai this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.